Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. I've got an amazing video today trying to recommend to you some of the greatest books that I have read, less than 100 pages. These are short books. Some of them are classics, some of them are young adults, some of them are middle grade. I wouldn't say this is highly on literature side, and so if you're looking for something very literature-ish, then this video is probably not for you. I'll make a separate video on that maybe some other time. But today's video are just some fun books, to get you in the groove in case you hit a slump and you just want something quick to read, but not so intellectually inspiring or not so thought-provoking, just a breezy, fun read of a short of 100 pages, then this video is just for you. The first book I want to recommend is this series called the Spiderwick Chronicles. Now, the Spiderwick Chronicles is a bunch of books. It's a complete series, and this is, I don't know, probably book 3. This is the Spiderwick Chronicles Lucinda's Secret. So this is an amazing young adult fantasy series, and most of the books in this series are less than 100 pages. This is like 90 pages. So it's a quick read, and it's like not much of a tight writing, so you can easily read through it. And this fantasy is so easy. It gives you Chronicle of Narnia vibes, so it's not heavy on the fantasy elements that's going to make you come back and check it out. So I'll definitely recommend this series. It's a great start to fantasy if you haven't read fantasy before, or if you're in a slump and you want to read a bit of fantasy and all the fantasy books are like huge, then I recommend you pick up something like this. Next book that I wanted to recommend is The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. This is a classic poetry book and it's one of my favorites. It is also less than 100 pages. Well, actually it's about 110 pages, and it's got like amazing poetry slash lyricism, which I think is brilliant. It's gonna make you think a little bit, but I'm sure that by the end of the book you're gonna be like, wow, okay, that was amazing. And because it's like really light on the poetical elements, it's so easy to like go through. You can also take breaks and read it as you go through this book. You don't have to read it in one setting if you don't want to, but a lot of these are like really interesting to read, and it gives you a sense of life and love. That's primarily what The Prophet is about. The next book I want to recommend is The Tales of Beedle the Bard, and this is a J.K. Rowling book, and this is such an easy read, especially if you're a Harry Potter fan. It's a bunch of short stories, and it's got like 5 short stories: The Wizard and the Hopping Pot, The Fountain of Fair Fortune, The Warlock's Hairy Heart, Babbity Rabbity and Her Cackling Stump, and The Tale of the Three Brothers. So we all know the tale of the three brothers. That's what they show during the Deathly Hallows, and that's when we come to understand what is actually happening. But the rest of the stories are like fun, quirky stories that are told to non-muggle children, and they're really small, and each story is about just 6 or 7 pages, and it also gives you an insight into the fantasy world. If you're not much into fantasy as yet, it's a great beginner's book as well. So I highly recommend The Tales of Beedle the Bard. Next book I'm recommending is another classic, and I love this classic, and it's The Great Gatsby. Now the version that I have is, I think this is unabridged, but it has about like 140 pages, and I'm still recommending it because it's a really good classic to read, if especially you want to read a classic but you don't want anything very investing. And most of the classics are like that, especially if you pick up things like Dickens or Jeff Fitzgerald's or anything of that sort. Whereas this one by Fitzgerald is actually pretty easy to go through, and the book is also very interesting, and it's not got a lot of heavy elements in it. It just gives you a feeling of luxury as well when you read this book. So it's another book that I would recommend, especially if you're trying to get through classics for the year, and all the classics you touch are huge, and this is a huge recommendation that I'd like to give you. The next book I want to recommend is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Other Stories, and this is again sort of a classic, but at the same time, this is a collection of a bunch of short stories that are horror, and it's great to read during the Halloween time. I'm definitely going to add this to my Halloween recommendations as well. So if you are thinking of checking my Halloween video out, then this is going to be in it. But this is an amazing storybook. If you're not able to get this particular edition, which has 4 stories, it has The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, Rip Van Winkle. Rip Van Winkle is one of my favorite stories as well. And then it has The Spectre Bridegroom and The Devil and Tom Walker, which is again a classic. And The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, it's just about like 30-40 pages, and the whole book in itself is less than like 80 pages. So you can imagine how easy it is going to be to get through this book, and it's got a horror element to it in all of the stories. So it's definitely worth a read, especially if you're into short stories. Then I would recommend this book. Next book I am recommending is one of my all-time favorite as well, and that is the Goosebumps. So Goosebumps is going to be always on my list to read, especially during the October time frame. And if you're looking for something that is short, I'm going to recommend Goosebumps, because I cannot go through a video without recommending it. It is one of the best horror books ever. It's a series. There are lots of Goosebumps books, and the best part is you can read it from anywhere. You don't have to go through like a particular series or an order. This is the Horrorland series that I have. Technically there's an order to it. I think there are 13 or 14 books, but you can still read it here and there, and it's not like you're gonna miss a lot. And that's how I felt. It's not necessarily something that you need to read as a series, so it's a great, quick pick up and read kind of book. And the best part of the Goosebumps books are all of these books are less than 120 pages, and each book is independent, and the books are targeted to a middle grade audience. But believe me when I tell you, it's one of the scariest books ever. And there are a lot of horror books out there, and a lot of horror authors targeting adult audience, but somehow R.L. Stine just makes it so creepy, especially the books. I don't really know how middle graders don't get scared reading these books. It is that good. So if you've not tried Goosebumps ever, this is a great book to pick up during a slump. I probably will put a separate video of books that can help you out of a slump, and I'm going to add this to that list as well. But for this video, for short books recommendation, I'm going to definitely recommend the Goosebumps series. Next book I'm recommending is also part of a series, and this is Goth Girl, Chris Riddell. So Chris Riddell has a lot of series out there, but the Goth Girl series are generally less than 100 pages. This one is like really, really thin. I think this is just about like 70 pages, and it has a lot of illustrations as well. So you can easily read these books without feeling overwhelmed, or that heaviness feeling of reading a book when you do not want to read it. And these Goth Girl books are so much like the Wednesday Addams series that's on Netflix. So if you are a Wednesday fan, then definitely check out the Goth Girl series. It is so similar and so much more easier to read, and less creepier and less horrific. So I definitely recommend the series, and Chris Riddell is a great author. He has like amazing series out as well, and this one is also amazing. This also is a standalone kind of book, so you don't necessarily need to read all the Goth Girls in order. You can just read them on and off, and I think that's brilliant as well. So that is another book that I am recommending. Another book or series that I wanted to recommend is Amelia Fang. Now, Amelia Fang was one of my most recent reads that I started reading. This is also a series. This particular one is Amelia Fang and the Bookworm Gang. And this also is very similar to Goth Girl. So it has like these beautiful illustrations, and along with it, you can also read this story of Amelia Fang. So this is I'm not sure which number from the series this is, but I have a few Amelia Fangs and I'm already a fan. From the expert, you can understand that Amelia Fang is basically a vampire, and so all of the books are related to her life as a vampire, and so I think it's fun. This is again targeted to a middle grade audience, but it's great for a quick read, and it'll just pull you out of a slump like really quickly, and you'll feel satisfied by the end of this book as well. And like you've noticed, all of the books or most of the books that I've recommended are touching on young adult or horror or fiction that is more for middle grade or quick reads, and none of them are like literature heavy. And I purposely did not pick books that are like a Mitch Albom or a Paulo Coelho, which are also less than 150 pages, because I just didn't want to overwhelm this particular video with literature heavy books which are less than 150 pages, and I wanted something that is easy breezy to read and something that you can quickly go through, especially when you're in a slump or if you're a beginner. And these books are all easily available as well, so that was the intent of this video. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my video, and I will see you in another one. Bye.